Hi YouTube, I'm Dr. Wanda and I wanted to do a quick video that is a health tip. Recently, I got sick. I had about 4 days where I just felt bad and each day got progressively worse. So I started with just sort of an upset stomach and an impromptu headache. Then that led to fatigue and then it led to loss of appetite. I got to a place where I would eat a little bit and then I didn't want to eat anymore. And then my husband finally got worried when I had a day that I pretty much slept on and off most of the day. And so he asked me, he said, have you ever dewormed? And so for me, growing up in the US, in a major city, Chicago, I've been in Chicago and Detroit, this is not a conversation that we generally have about deworming. We do know of a worm. There is a worm that we've all talked about, which is a tapeworm. And the tapeworm is something that you can get into, that gets into the intestinal area. And one of the ways that you know you have it is you begin to lose weight because it will consume whatever's coming in the stomach and keep growing. So we know of that. And there are some detox products that talk about it, but for the most part, this is not a city girl's conversation. So again, because of that fatigue and that really upset intestinal tract, diarrhea, he said, look, let me go get you the dewormer. So he came back with something called Vermox. This is 500 milligram, one oral tablet. It's white, it's like chalk. The main ingredient in it is mebendazole, and so this is a standard way to deworm in Africa. And I took the tablet, he said, take it, you chew it, wash it down with water just before I went to bed. And bingo, I woke up the next day. I had a huge passing, but I felt like myself again. I was my regular, happy-go-lucky, chatty self, and I actually was hungry. I actually had an interest in eating again. So I know from going to the travel clinic, and I've been to South Africa, I've been to Tanzania, I've been to Uganda, and now I'm here in Ghana. They usually advise against eating from vendors. That's almost a no-no. They always ask you to drink bottled water, to be very, very cautious with your water. There is always questions about the way you engage with livestock because you can pick up worms from livestock. You're always encouraged to keep your shoes on because that's one of the ways that worms, pinworms, the various worms that get into our intestines can get in. And, I remember one time traveling with my goddaughter and she said, I think we've broken every rule in the travel clinic book. And I'm like, yeah, basically we have. So when I go to these places, I sort of allow myself to make myself at home. And, this time I actually got sick. So the beautiful thing is of course, worms in your intestine, any parasite, it can be deadly. It can get out of control. It can be deadly if you don't know what to do. But what I'm suggesting is that we always kind of travel with it the same way we're encouraged to travel with Pepto-Bismol for an upset stomach, or you travel with things that ward off mosquito bites, that we might want to consider actually arming ourselves with some dewormer. There are natural ways to get rid of worms. I did a little research, and one of them, believe it or not, is pumpkin seeds. So you can get pumpkin seeds, raw pumpkin, cut it open and chew on 20 of them, and it will cause the parasites to evacuate. Listen, this pumpkin seed works with humans as well as animals. That's how good the pumpkin seed is. But then there's other stuff, papaya seeds, raw garlic, as well as pomegranate. All of these things will help the body deworm. So the Africans say that they do it at least twice a year. There's some suggestions that you might want to do it like quarterly, every 3 to 4 months, just on GP kind of deworm, especially if you start feeling some of the symptoms I described. And your practices. If you are frequenting the vendors more often than expected, if you're exposing yourself to livestock and petting, because like in Africa, the animals free roam. So it's not as if you can say, it's not as if you can confirm that an animal has been vaccinated or is safe for you to engage with. So again, this was just a quick health tip, a reminder to be careful that it's possible if you're feeling nausea, sickness, fatigue, that maybe you actually picked up a worm in your intestinal tract. And there's a very, very simple way to manage it, which is to simply take a dewormer. You can take the standard way, or to get you 20 pumpkin seeds and chew on them in order to evacuate that out the system. I'm Dr. Wanda, and I'm signing off, and peace and progress with your day.